Hi guys, so today I'm working on finally these Winx Club redesigns. You guys voted and you guys really wanted me to do Winx, and honestly you guys like predicted the future or whatever, or maybe I don't keep up with what Netflix is doing. It probably was announced a minute ago. But like you guys like did this just in time because the Winx Club live action adaptation is like been announced and it looks ugly. But anyways, I'll talk about that in a minute. Like I got a lot of thoughts about it, but yeah, I've been like really busy. Thanksgiving happened. I had to cook. I made some tamales. I made rice and beans. I made cranberry sauce too. And then I tried to make some conchas, but they didn't come out this time. I messed up the yeast. Like I made them perfectly a few weeks ago and I was gonna try to do it again. But then my husband's birthday came up and then I was like, oh my god, I gotta make cupcakes. And then we're both like, okay, no more sweets, because I started gaining weight. I gained some weight from all the baking. Like Thanksgiving made me chunky. I'm already chunky, but like I'm trying not to get too chunky. And yeah, I was just like going through some stuff and I was sad, but now I'm not sad. I'm doing a lot better. But yeah, like, so the vibe I had for Bloom is that I really wanted her outfit to like look more magical, more fairy-like. Like I really wanted her to look like she's a fairy and a dragon. Because her power, she's like the fairy of the dragon's flame. Spoilers for anyone who didn't know that. But also, if you watch the 4Kids adaptation, or yeah, they adapted it, they redubbed it. If you watch that version, they actually spoil it in the opening theme. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I feel like Winx is doing this to me. It's something about that early 2000s aesthetic that's making me kind of dumb. Not dumb, but you know, like airheaded, Valley Girl-esque. But yeah, like, I wanted her wings to look more like dragon wings, but I kept the same, like, shape of her original wings, kind of. And then I just added, like, the frills in the belly part of her top. I wanted it, because you know how dragons have, like, the belly scales? That's what I wanted it to look more like. And then I just gave her, like, the tail pieces on the skirt to, like, represent the dragon's tail. And then I just wanted her to look more like a fairy, like more like a fantasy thing. So that's like what I did. And also her tiara is like shaped more like dragon wings. Also, I'm like really sorry if the audio is like weird. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm recording in the exact same space, the exact same area that I normally would. So if it, like, I don't know, maybe it's been because it's been a while since I recorded and maybe it just doesn't sound right to me anymore. But I don't know. But yeah, so I'm really sorry about that. Also, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, because like at the time that I'm recording the voiceover, they just did the announcement for the Winx Fate, whatever, live action thing. And people are probably going to be like, oh, what's your opinions on it? Like, because it just came out and I like somehow, like, apparently my followers seen the future because this was like just in time for that. So yeah, my opinions on it is it looks really dumb. I'm really not into the whole gritty reboot, gritty like remake, gritty live action. I don't like it. Like, why does it have to look dull and bland? Like, that's not what Winx Club is about. And like, there are people who are saying, oh, but it's not for kids anymore, it's for the adults. But like, the adult fans who grew up on Winx Club don't want that. Like, maybe some of you guys do, but like, I feel like generally the adult fans who grew up on Winx Club want something whimsical and like fun, like less, I don't even know, I don't watch films like that, but more like Narnia, I guess, or Never-Ending Story vibes, you know, like whimsical and magical and fun and free. Like, I feel like that's what people want. I also just have like a really big problem with the costume designs. Oh my god, the costumes are so ugly. ugly. You cannot see my face. I'm like, oh my god, they are so ugly. Like, oh my god, like, you know, Winx is like, it's for little girls, so like there's like a big emphasis on fashion and shopping and girls and stuff like that. And like, these girls don't look like they've ever stepped in a mall in their entire life. These girls look like they got their stuff from like the Karen meeting at their local like Sunday school or whatever, where all the soccer moms like have their bake sale and they're like selling off the old clothes for a yard sale. It looks like they got it from like a Karen soccer mom bake sale / yard sale at the local community church. And it's like the ugly Karens selling their old clothes. And then they put that poor fat girl in like, she's wearing a tent. Why are they putting that fat girl in the tent? People are always like, oh, fat people should wear what's flattering to them. Also, if you have a problem with me saying fat, get over it. I'm fat too. It's not a bad word. But anyways, they like, she's wearing a tent. Why did they put her in a tent? People are always like, fat people should wear what's appealing to them, what highlights their body, what like looks good on them, and then they put them in tents. Like, no, fat people have curves, like, and those curves can be shown off in a good way, not in tents, not in like, we don't want a fabric that cuts into you uncomfortably and chunky and bad. Like, it's not gonna look good if it's cutting into you the wrong way, but it's not gonna look good if it doesn't cut and like it's just a big draping tent on you. No, that looks terrible. And then they also got like all the girls' colors wrong. Like, okay, the person who is playing Musa, I guess, she's like wearing Tekna's color, so everybody thinks that that's Tekna, and then they get confused because it's Musa. And then they have Bloom in red, even though Bloom wears blue. The quote-unquote Flora replacement is wearing green, but like, she's not really Flora, so I guess that's supposed to let it slide, but Flora's pink. And it's like, whatever. They don't, no. Okay, like, color coding in Magical Girls is like kind of like important, and like the colors also reflect like their powers a little bit. And I get it, like, oh, red is fire dragons, but like, she's also wearing blue because like, okay, first of all, if fire is hot enough, it turns blue. Like, that's really cool. And then it's like dragons can be blue. She doesn't need to be like, and her hair is red, it like contrasts beautifully. Well, whatever. And then like the other issues I have is like the whitewashing of Flora, putting her as they replaced her with the fat girl. The fat girl's white. There's like no shortage of fat Latinos. I'm a fat Latino. There's no shortage of them, guys. You could, if you really wanted like to do body positivity, you could have gone with a Latino, because like I've seen it from a lot of Italians and like Europeans who are like really into Winx, but Flora is meant to be based off of J-Lo, who is Latina, and then there's Musa, who is supposed to be based off of Lucy Liu. She should be Chinese, portrayed by a Chinese actress, but the actress that they got for her is not Chinese. She's not even East Asian. I've seen a lot of like conflicting people telling me that she is supposed to be from the Middle East and that she's Arabic, or that she was born in Singapore but she's white. I don't really know, but the actress that they got for her is not Chinese. So like, when I talked about in my Blacktober video about whitewashing, that is like the first definition you will see in the dictionary would be talking about acting in roles, and it's taking away from people who generally aren't able to get a lot of roles. Like, yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, let them act whoever they want, but we don't live in the perfect world where everybody gets an equal chance to act whoever they want. And not only that, like, I just have an issue with how they cast these characters anyways. I just don't, like, yeah. But they didn't, those particularly are, like, extremely problematic. Yeah, now I'm doing Stella, and, okay, I'm actually got a sketch of her because it recorded while I was sketching. And I had a little bit trouble with, like, the pose, and like, I wanted her face shape to be a little bit longer. Like, I didn't want her to have the same round face. I tried to elongate it. I'm not sure how well it like translates, but that's what I was trying to do. And like, her thing is that she is the fairy of the sun and the moon. Like, she's the fairy mainly of the sun, but like, I've seen like sometimes she's referred to as the sun and the moon. So I try to like amp up the sun and the moon part, but like give the sun a little bit more like time to shine, I guess. Like it's like the sun is like at the forefront and then the moon is like only a little bit. So that's like really the vibe I tried to go with. And then I made her tiara kind of look like the staff thingy she has. And then like, I don't know, when I think of like the sun and sun characters, I feel like it makes me think of like Greek goddesses and stuff. So like, I don't know, just something about that makes me think of that. And that's why I did the top like that. But I still wanted them, I wanted them to have their platforms. Girl, that's another thing. Why ain't these girls wearing platforms? Like, platforms are still a thing. Just go to YRU. I actually own quite a few platforms. And Demonias. Demonias does platforms too, but I don't own any Demonias, but I do own quite a few YRU shoes. And you can get them like from the site. They usually have sales for like 50% off or 40% off. And you can get them from like Poshmark or Mercari or Depop. That's usually where I get my shoes. Yeah, sometimes people ask me where I get my shoes, even though I haven't posted my shoes in like a minute. But that's usually like, I usually wear platforms because I like to feel tall. I'm short. I'm little. I wish I was tall. I wish I was like really tall. The Winx Club is so tall. I want to be tall. And they're wearing platforms. Like I see a lot of tall girls who are like, oh my god, I'm so tall so I can't wear platforms. But the Winx Club is tall and they're wearing platforms and they're killing it. So if you're tall, you can wear platforms because the Winx Club wears platforms and they're tall too. But yeah. And with Stella, I did give her the belly top and like she's wearing the shorts, right? So I like gave her like bubbly balloon shorts, I guess. And then like, I don't know what, just something about those sleeves. I was like, oh, she needs some like really cool sleeves. So I tried to give her really cool sleeves. And she's wearing gloves and like her hairstyle is the same. Like I'm not really changing too much about like their designs, like as far as their appearance goes, just their outfits, because I don't really have a problem with their like appearance. I mean, maybe once I get to Aisha or Layla, depending on where you're from, I might like change the way her curls are. Like her hair is curly, but it could be curlier. I might do that. And yeah, if you hear me smacking, I don't know what it is about the way I'm talking today. I'm just like, I don't know. Like I have so much energy right now. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, sorry if that's getting on your nerves. And I'm like, well, if you got this far, like, do you really care anymore? Yeah, there's the big, ginormous heels, and I try to give them the pattern, like the ringy pattern that they have. And then the boots, I could not decide, like, what shape I wanted the boots to be. I just wanted, like, a sun and a moon, like, cradling each other's shape on her somewhere, and, like, it's on, like, the tip, like, her knees of the boots, or, like, almost near her knees, and then in her earrings. And I was gonna put it on, like, the sash thing. I ended up not doing it, but I might end up adding it back in later. I don't know. I did end up making her like slightly tan. I have seen quite a few Stellas like tan. I noticed that happens a lot with like sun and moon designs. We always make them tan. Although I really like the way those, you know, the Bishoujo figures of My Little Pony. I really like that they made Luna the darker one, because usually the dark, like the moon one is always the paler one. So I thought that was pretty cool of them. Because, like, the sun one is always, like, really light, and then the moon one is pale. Although it's Stella, like, I did say she was the sun and the moon, so. I like totally missed out on the holidays because I didn't update. So like put in the comments, what'd you do for Thanksgiving? What'd you guys eat? And then like, what do you guys get for Christmas? What's on your wish list? I'm like, okay, I'm like big and grown, and also the family I still have doesn't really do Christmas. I don't really have my mom and dad to do that anymore, and so I'm probably gonna get something from my in-laws though. But I don't really have much else to. Not really much else is gonna happen. I'm sure I'm probably gonna get well, I already got my sister a Nintendo Switch, and I'm waiting for her grades to come in. Because if her grades are really good, because she's in her second semester of college, then I'm gonna give her her Switch. But yeah, for Thanksgiving, I think I might have said it before, but I'll say it again. I had tamales and rice and beans, and yeah. Usually growing up, my parents would just do, well, my mom is the one who cooked. My dad couldn't cook. I found that out about 5-6 years ago. It might have been like 6 years ago, that my dad could not cook anything but spaghetti and fish, because on Thanksgiving, he really liked Thanksgiving, and he wanted to do Thanksgiving, but he never cooked for Thanksgiving before. And I didn't realize that. Like, I was always helping my mom, but I didn't notice my dad never helped. And now I noticed he never helped, because he was sitting there. My dad thought he was so smart. He thought he was doing something. He had the cooking pot, you know, like the baking dish, and he was mixing the cornbread in it. He thought he was doing something. He thought, it would save dishes. I'm like, Daddy, you can't do that. You cook it in you mix in a separate bowl, and then you cook in one that you sprayed down so it won't stick. And he was like, oh. And I'm like, he thought he was doing something. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna do the rest of the girls. I'm probably gonna do like 1 or 2 at a time instead of a big one like I would do for the Yandere Simulator ones, because these are like, there's like so much going on with these designs, and I was able to cut corners with the other ones by like, okay, they're all wearing the same thing. Yeah, so this time it's probably gonna be a lot shorter. Not shorter videos. This one actually is like decently length. But it's gonna have less content, I suppose. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, and you get some really cool presents for the holidays, Christmas, New Year's. I don't know, you guys give each other New Year's gifts. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa if you do Kwanzaa. I don't do Kwanzaa, but if y'all do Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. And I hope to see you guys next time. Mwah, stay safe, love you, bye-bye.
Trash your rep. Mean girls always put you down. Diss your hair. Shame your out.